Good afternoon, and thank you for starting your week with us. I'm Jurnee Taylor, and here a look at the top stories we're following for you now at noon. Earlier this morning, a deadly shooting at an Amazon facility in Little Rock. The latest we know as the attack is under investigation. Plus, a Republican presidential candidate with a surprise dropout. What it could mean for the race as Congress is working under a new speaker. And a school that has already revolutionized football once is trying to do it again. Later, how a new helmet is giving athletes with hearing impairments a chance to hit the field. But first, meteorologist Simone Thomas joins us, and it is Monday. What do you have for our beginning of the week, Simone?
You know, we're looking to see above normal temperatures today, but thankfully not as warm as what we saw last Monday. Last Monday, we were staring down the lower 80s. Today, more of the upper 60s, possible 70 degrees across central Arkansas. As you can see on your screen, we've got some cloud cover moving in from our south, so that will help keep some of those southern cities a little bit cooler for longer, but already staring down 67 degrees in the capital city, 68 in Clinton at the moment, 66 over in Pine Bluff. As we continue through the evening, again, looking to see more of the upper 60s, possible 70 this afternoon. When you get into those evening hours after sunset, looking to see more of those mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies. That'll be the trend through the evening, but I'll have a look at what you can expect for the rest of the week in your full forecast.
All right, Simone, thank you. Well, today, Little Rock police are investigating a deadly shooting at an Amazon fulfillment center. Here's what we know so far. Officers responded to a call of shots fired just after 2 a.m. at the Amazon warehouse on Zuber Road near the port of Little Rock. The victim was taken to the hospital where he died overnight. Police have not publicly named a suspect. We are working right now to get as much information about the shooting as possible. Pine Bluff police officers are looking for a second suspect in a murder case, 20-year-old Daryl Bell. Pictured on your screen, police believe he's connected to the killing of Cedric Hawkins on Wednesday, November 1st. 24-year-old Raheem Moorhead was also arrested previously in the same case. He's charged with capital murder. Bell is wanted on the same charge. Well, happening today, law enforcement in Conway will be preparing for high-stakes scenarios. Conway police posted on Facebook letting people know its SWAT and crisis negotiation teams will be doing training exercises. They'll say they'll have a heavy presence of officers and emergency vehicles at a pair of locations. They're at a Cinemark at the Conway Town Center, and this evening they'll be at Exxon on East Dave Ward Drive until about 10 o'clock. And new at noon, Governor Sanders and state and local leaders just wrapped up a conference welcoming Exxon Mobil's investment in Arkansas Lithium. The company will drill its first lithium well right here in Arkansas, investing in what could be one of the largest supplies of lithium in the continent. Governor Sanders applauded the company's development.
I think this is something that has the ability to have tremendous long-term economic impact. This isn't limited over the course of the next year or two, but something that could go on for decades, and that's certainly the hope.
Now, Governor Sanders went on to say that as the natural state, it is important to protect the resources in the state, but that by tapping into them, it can also transform parts of the state and make Arkansas a desirable location for businesses. Well, a surprise announcement from South Carolina Senator Tim Scott last night. He's dropping out of the race for the Republican presidential nomination after failing to gain traction in the polls. Naomi Ruckham explains what led to the decision and where the rest of the GOP field stands this morning.
Just 2 months shy of the Iowa caucuses, Republican Tim Scott is out of the running for his party's nomination.
I am suspending my campaign.
The South Carolina senator made the announcement on Fox News last night after abruptly canceling all of his campaign stops in Iowa over the weekend when he came down with the flu. Sources say it came as a shock to Scott's campaign staff.
I think the voters have been really clear that they're telling me not now, Tim.
Though Scott was outpacing most other candidates in terms of fundraising, recent polling put him in a distant 5th place behind frontrunner former President Donald Trump. Trump continues to dominate the field, while other Republicans are tirelessly trying to catch up, many showing support for Israel amid the war in Gaza. On a visit to the country, GOP candidate Chris Christie stopped at one of the sites of the Hamas terror attack.
We can't ask Israel to stand down if they believe there is still a legitimate violent threat against them and their people.
In Iowa late last week, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis condemned anti-Semitism on the campuses of American universities.
And if you have foreign students on visas that are out there protesting in favor of Hamas, I'm canceling their visas and I'm sending them home.
A fourth Republican primary debate is set for the remaining candidates next month. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Well, as of right now, Tim Scott has not endorsed another candidate and said he has no immediate plans to do so. When asked about the possibility of joining another ticket as a vice president contender, he brushed off the idea, saying becoming VP had never been on his to-do list for his campaign. Now, former Arkansas governor and presidential hopeful Asa Hutchinson took to Twitter after Scott dropped out. He said he has always been a fan of his and that America will miss his hopeful message of the future. House Speaker Mike Johnson is pitching a new plan to avoid a government shutdown. His proposal will fund the government into next year, but it's already drawing criticism from both sides of the aisle. The first bill would extend money for veterans programs, transportation, housing, agriculture, and energy until January 19th, while the second would fund the rest of the government, including defense, until February 2nd. While the bill is debated, the American Federation of Government Employees says its members are once again on notice and on edge.
They've got families to support, they've got kids to support, the holidays are coming up, cold weather's coming up.
The House proposal could get a vote on the floor as early as tomorrow. The Speaker can afford to lose only a handful of GOP votes, meaning he could need Democratic support in order to pass it. Now, in the month-long war between Israel and Hamas, one focus is now on Gaza's largest hospital. Local officials say a humanitarian crisis is unfolding there. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry says 32 patients died over the weekend, including 3 newborn babies, as a result of Israel's siege over the hospital. Israel says Hamas is using Al-Shifa Hospital as a command center.
Yesterday, the Director General of the World Health Organization declared that for the last 3 days, Al-Shifa has not received water and electricity and has stopped operating.
The Biden administration says it remains actively engaged in negotiations for the release of roughly 240 hostages captured during the Hamas attacks. A defense official tells CBS News that the latest U.S. airstrikes in Syria Sunday likely caused casualties. Previous strikes have come against weapons storage areas, but this was on a safe house and a training area. The strikes come after a number of attacks on bases housing U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria. Well, penicillin has been around for 100 years as one of the most popular antibiotics still today. After the break, a look at the impact of the drug when you're allergic, and we verify alternate options for you. Plus, new football helmets are changing the game for one college in Washington. After the break, how the safety equipment is breaking barriers. Simone?
And we're starting to see some clouds move in from our south. I'll have a look at what you can expect through the rest of the week coming up after this break.